Christina. Good morning, sweetheart. That's true. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a bright and sunshiny day. Hey, I just realized I'm late. I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to start at 7:30. So, it's okay. Well, let's get started. Good morning, Christina. I'm glad you are here. I like how her fur came out. She was cold yesterday. The poor puppy. Okay, let's get going. I'm just mouthing off here. Well, the groomers don't do flea dips, but they did use a flea and tick shampoo like we do here. So it's like every few shampoo, like I'll do a regular shampoo of her, but then the next time I'll do a flea and tick shampoo. I alternate it. I should she should like do two and then a regular shampoo. Do two and regular shampoo. Let's get started. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, Jehovah, for another beautiful day on your beautiful earth. And thank you for allowing us to wake up today. And thank you for what you did for us in the past, present, and what you will do for us in the future. Please continue to help Tate with his heart condition. And his cancer. Please give him the physical and mental strength he needs to fight his diseases off. Please continue to help the rest that has cancer Cindy Lee, Lisa, Shannon Doherty, King Charles, Princess Kate, Jen's friend Shannon, Isabella Strahan. Please help them, give them mental and physical strength to fight off their diseases and illnesses. Please help Celine stiff person syndrome. Please help her, give her mental and physical strength to fight hers off, and give her some energy, because she's coming back to see him. There's a date. She wasn't allowed to say the date. It's a little hush hush right now. Please continue to help Jenny, Tiffany, and Christina with their health issues, mental and physical issues, and as well as Robin. She's going through a lot right now. She has a lot on her plate right now. I don't know what it is, but just give her a nice easing feeling, until she goes, oh, Jehovah's got me. I feel that a lot. Continue to help Miss Diane and daughters, Arnie, Vicky and family, Carol and mom. Please help them. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, listen to too far down. No. We're not over there yet. My hand double clicked. Jezebel, a wicked queen. We're on number 66.
Story number 66. Jezebel, a wicked queen. After King Jeroboam dies, each king who rules the northern 10-tribe kingdom of Israel is bad. King Ahab is the worst king of all. Do you know why? One big reason is his wife, wicked Queen Jezebel.
Uh-oh.
Jezebel is not an Israelite woman. She is the daughter of the king of Sidon. She worships the false god Baal, and she gets Ahab and many Israelites to worship Baal too. Jezebel hates Jehovah and kills many of his prophets. Others have to hide in caves so that they won't be killed. If Jezebel wants something, she will even kill a person to get it. One day, King Ahab is very sad. So Jezebel asks him, "Why are you sad today?" "Because of what Naboth said to me," Ahab answers. "I wanted to buy his vineyard, but he told me I couldn't have it." "Don't worry," Jezebel says. "I will get it for you." So Jezebel writes letters to some chief men in the city where this man Naboth lives. "Get some good-for-nothing men to say that Naboth has cursed God and the king," she tells them. "Then take Naboth out of the city and stone him to death."
Oh.
As soon as Jezebel learns that Naboth is dead, she says to Ahab, "Now go and take his vineyard." Don't you agree that should be punished for doing such a terrible thing? So, in time, Jehovah sends the man Jehu to punish her. When Jezebel hears that Jehu is coming, she paints her eyes and tries to fix herself up to look pretty. But when Jehu comes and sees Jezebel in the window, he calls to the men in the palace, "Throw her down." The men obey, as you can see in the picture. They throw her down and she dies. This is the end of wicked Queen Jezebel.
Yeah. Viking Jezebel. This is 1 Kings chapter 16, 29 through 33. Ahab, the son of Omri, became king over Israel in the 38th year of King Ashia of Judah. And Ahab, the son of Omri, reigned over Israel in Samaria for 22 years. Ahab, the son of Omri, was worse in the eyes of Jehovah than those who were prior to him, as if it were a travel thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. He also took as wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, the king of Sidonia, and began to serve Baal and to bow down to him. Further, up an altar to Baal as the house of Baal that he built in Samaria. Ahab also made the sacred pole. Ahab did more to offend Jehovah, the God of Israel, than all the kings of Israel prior to him. Now we go to chapter 18, verses 1 through 4. After some time, in the 3rd year, Jehovah word came to Elijah, saying, "Go, present yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain on the surface of the ground." So Elijah went to present himself to Ahab while the famine was severe in Syria. Sorry, my eyes are going wonky. Meanwhile, Ahab called Obadiah. I know this name. Obadiah greatly feared Jehovah, and when Jezebel was doing away with Jehovah's prophets. Obadiah. Sorry, Obadiah. Please forgive me. Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them 50 to a cave, and he supplied them with bread and water. Awesome. Thank you, Obadiah. He's gonna curse me. Chapter 21 is still 1 Kings, verses 1 through 16. After these things, an incident took place. I thought it said look. You know what? Can I just let them read it? I'm seeing words that's not there.
Chapter 21. After these things, an incident took place.
Oh.
After these things, An incident took place concerning a vineyard that belonged to Naboth the Jezreelite. It was in Jezreel, next to the palace of Ahab, the king of Samaria. Ahab said to Naboth,
"Give me your vineyard for me to use as a vegetable garden, for it is near my house. Then I will give you a better vineyard to replace it. Or if you prefer, I will give you its value in money."
But Naboth said to Ahab,
"It is unthinkable from Jehovah's standpoint for me to give you the inheritance of my forefathers."
So Ahab came into his house sullen and dejected over the answer that Naboth the Jezreelite had given him when he said, "I will not give you the inheritance of my forefathers." Then he lay down on his bed, kept his face turned away, and refused to eat. His wife Jezebel came in to him and asked him,
"Why are you so sad that you refuse to eat?"
He replied to her,
"Because I said to Naboth the Jezreelite, 'Give me your vineyard for money, or if you prefer, let me give you another vineyard to replace it.' But he said, 'I will not give you my vineyard.'"
His wife Jezebel said to him,
"Are you not the one ruling as king over Israel? Get up, eat something, and let your heart be cheerful. I will give you the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite."
So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters to the elders and the nobles who lived in Naboth's city. She wrote in the letters,
"Proclaim a fast, and have Naboth sit at the head of the people, and have 2 good-for-nothing men sit in front of him and testify against him, saying, 'You have cursed God and the king.' Then bring him out and stone him to death."
So the men of his city, the elders and the nobles who lived in his city, did just as was written in the letters that Jezebel sent to them. They proclaimed a fast and had Naboth sit at the head of the people. Then 2 of the good-for-nothing men came in and sat down in front of him and began to testify against Naboth in front of the people, saying,
"Naboth has cursed God and the king."
After that, they brought him to the outskirts of the city and stoned him to death. They now sent word to Jezebel, saying,
"Naboth has been stoned to death."
As soon as Jezebel heard that Naboth had been stoned to death, she said to Ahab,
"Get up, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give you for money. For Naboth is no longer alive. He is dead."
As soon as Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, Ahab got up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite to take possession of it.
Okay. Now, 2 Kings chapter 30 2 Kings chapter 9, verses 30 to 37. When Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it. 38. Let me just click that. It will go back. You won't get disturbed with that no more. Let's start again. When Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel, these names sound so similar, heard of it. So she painted her eyes with black paint and adorned her head and looked down through the window. As Jehu came in through the gate, she said, "Did it go well with Zimri, the killer of the Lord?" The killer of his Lord. Looking up to the window, he said, "Who is on my side?" Who immediately 2 or 3 court officials looked at him. He said, "Throw her down." So they threw her down, and some of her blood splattered on the wall and on the horses, and he trampled her. After that, he went in and ate and drank. He then said, "Please take care of this accursed woman and bury her. After all, she is the daughter of a king." But when they went to bury her, they did not find anything but her skull in her feet, in the palms of her hands. When they returned and told him, he said, "This fulfills the words of Jehovah that he spoke through his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the plot of land of Jezreel, the dogs will eat the flesh of Jezebel, and the dead body of Jezebel will become as manure on the surface of the field in the plot of land of Jezreel, so that they may not say, this is Jezebel." You okay there? Hi, baby. You want to play? Go get your toy. She is so cute. I can't handle it. She is so cute. Even when she has all the raggedy fur, she's so cute. Oh, we'll take a little break from reading. Look, that's a little bow they put on her. Alright, let's go to the... Oh no, we didn't have to do that. Jehoshaphat trusts Jehovah.
Story number 67. Jehoshaphat trusts Jehovah.
Jehoshaphat.
Do you know who these men are and what they are doing? They are going out to battle, and the men there in front are singing. But you may ask, why don't the singers have swords and spears to fight with? Let us see. Jehoshaphat is king of the two-tribe kingdom of Israel. He lives at the same time as King Ahab and Jezebel of the northern 10-tribe kingdom. But Jehoshaphat is a good king, and his father Asa was a fine king too. So for many years, the people of the southern two-tribe kingdom enjoy a good life. But now something happens to make the people afraid. Messengers report to Jehoshaphat, a large army from the countries of Moab, Ammon, and Mount Seir are coming to attack you. Many Israelites gather at Jerusalem to seek Jehovah's help. They go to the temple, and there Jehoshaphat prays, "O Jehovah our God, we do not know what to do. We are helpless against this large army. We look to you for help." Jehovah listens, and he has one of his servants tell the people, "The battle is not yours, but God's. You will have to fight. Just watch and see how Jehovah will save you." So the next morning, Jehoshaphat tells the people, "Have trust in Jehovah." He then puts singers out in front of his soldiers, and as they march along, they sing praises to Jehovah. Do you know what happens when they get near the battle? It causes the enemy soldiers to fight among themselves. And when the Israelites arrive, every enemy soldier is dead. Wasn't Jehoshaphat wise to trust in Jehovah?
Mm-hmm.
We will be wise if we trust in him too.
I trust in him. Kings. First Kings again. Chapter 22, verses 41 through 53. Yeah.
Jehoshaphat, the son of Asa, had become king over Judah in the 4th year of Ahab of Israel. Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he became king, and he reigned for 25 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Azubah, the daughter of Shilhi. He kept walking in all the way of Asa his father. He did not deviate from it, and he did what was right in Jehovah's eyes. However, the high places were not removed, and the people were still sacrificing and making sacrificial smoke on the high places. Jehoshaphat kept peaceful relations with the king of Israel. As for the rest of the history of Jehoshaphat, his mighty exploits, and how he waged war, is it not written in the book of the history of the times of the kings of Judah? He also cleared out of the land the rest of the male temple prostitutes who had been left over in his father. Then there was no king in Edom. A deputy was acting as king. Jehoshaphat also made Tarshish ships to go to Ophir for gold, but they did not go because the ships were wrecked at Ezion-Geber. It was then that Ahaziah the son of Ahab said to Jehoshaphat,
"Let my servants go with your servants in the ships."
but Jehoshaphat did not consent. Then Jehoshaphat was laid to rest with his forefathers, and was buried with his forefathers in the city of David his forefather. And his son Jehoram became king in his place. Ahaziah the son of Ahab became king over Israel in Samaria in the 17th year of King Jehoshaphat of Judah. And he reigned over Israel for 2 years. And he kept doing what was bad in Jehovah's eyes, and walking in the way of his father and his mother, and in the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who had caused Israel to sin. He continued serving Baal and bowing down to him, and kept offending Jehovah the God of Israel, just as his father had done.
Second Chronicles, chapter 20, verses 1 to 30.
Afterward, the Moabites and the Ammonites, together with some of the Ammonim, came to wage war against Jehoshaphat. So Jehoshaphat was told,
"A large crowd has come against you from the region of the sea, from Edom, and there they are in Hazazon Tamar, that is, En Gedi."
At that, Jehoshaphat became afraid, and he resolved to search for Jehovah. So he proclaimed a fast for all Judah. The people of Judah then gathered together to inquire of Jehovah. They came from all Jehovah. Then Jehoshaphat stood up in the congregation of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of Jehovah before the new courtyard. And he said,
"O Jehovah, the God of our forefathers, are you not God in the heavens? Do you not have dominion over all the kingdoms of the nations? In your hand are power and might, and no one can stand against you. O our God, did you not drive away the inhabitants of this land from before your people Israel, and then give it as a lasting possession to the offspring of your friend Abraham? And they settled in it, and they built for you there a sanctuary for your name, saying, if disaster should come on us, whether by sword, adverse judgment, pestilence, or famine, let us stand before this house and before you, for your name is in this house, and call to you for help out of our distress, and may you hear and save us. Now here are the men of Ammon, Moab, and the mountainous region of Seir, whom you did not allow Israel to invade when they came out of the land of Egypt. They turned away from them and did not annihilate them. Now they are repaying us by coming in to drive us out from your possession that you gave us as an inheritance. O our God, will you not execute judgment on them? For we are powerless before this large crowd that is coming against us, and we do not know what we should do. But our eyes are toward you.
Meanwhile, all those of Judah were standing before Jehovah, along with their little ones, their wives, and their children. Then, in the middle of the congregation, the Spirit of Jehovah came upon Jahaziel, son of Zechariah, son of Benaiah, son of Jael, son of Levite, of the sons of Asaph. He said,
Pay attention, all Judah, and you inhabitants of Jerusalem, and King Jehoshaphat. Here is what Jehovah says to you. Do not be afraid or be terrified because of this large crowd, for the battle is not yours, but God's. Tomorrow, go down against them. They will be coming up by the pass of Ziz, and you will find them at the end of the valley before the wilderness of Jeruel. You will not need to fight this battle. Take your position, stand still, and see the salvation of Jehovah in your behalf. O Judah and Jerusalem, do not be afraid or be terrified. Go out against them, and Jehovah will be with you.
At once Jehoshaphat bowed low with his face to the ground, and all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell down before Jehovah to worship Jehovah. Then the Levites, who were descendants of the Kohathites and the Korahites, rose up to praise Jehovah, the God of Israel, with a very loud voice. They rose up early the next morning and went out to the wilderness of Tekoa. As they went out, Jehoshaphat stood up and said,
Me, O Judah, and you inhabitants of Jerusalem, put faith in Jehovah your God, so that you may be able to stand firm. Put faith in his prophets, and you will be successful.
After he consulted with the people, he appointed men to sing to Jehovah and to offer praise in holy adornment as they went out ahead of the armed men, saying, Give thanks to Jehovah, for his loyal love endures forever. When they began joyfully singing praises, Jehovah sent an ambush against the men of Ammon, Moab, and the mountainous region of Seir, who were invading Judah, and they struck each other down. And the Ammonites and the Moabites against the inhabitants of the mountainous region of Seir to destroy and annihilate them. And when they finished with the inhabitants of Seir, they helped to destroy one another. But when Judah came to the watchtower of the wilderness and looked toward the crowd, there they saw their carcasses fallen to the ground. There were no survivors. So Jehoshaphat and his people came to carry off the spoil from them, and they found among them an abundance of goods, clothing, and desirable articles, which they stripped off for themselves until they could carry no more. It took 3 days to carry off the spoil, for it was abundant. On the 4th day they congregated together at the valley of Barakah, for there they praised Jehovah. That is why they named that place Valley of Barakah, until today. Then all the men of Judah and Jerusalem, with Jehoshaphat, returned to Jerusalem with rejoicing, for Jehovah had made them rejoice over their enemies. So they came into Jerusalem with stringed instruments, harps, and trumpets, and went to the house of Jehovah. And the dread of God came upon all the kingdoms of the lands when they heard that Jehovah had fought against the enemies of Israel. Thus the kingdom of Jehoshaphat had no disturbance, and his God continued to give him rest on every side. And
that is it for today. So I will be live later on today soon. But what, an hour and 45 minutes, or give or take a few. With some, I don't even know what I'm doing. I might just diamond paint, but I'll see. Love, don't judge.